Reddit by Reddit recap. What was something your family did that you didn't realize wasn't normal until you did it in front of others? Apparently it's not normal for your parents to openly and graphically discuss their sex life with you. And it's definitely not normal for your parents to have multiple partners younger than you. Edit. Since so many are asking, my parents didn't start this behavior until I was an adult. When I say the partners are younger, I mean they're sleeping with college kids while I'm in my mid to late 20s. Oof, that's awkward. Depending on time frame, even criminal. Son, you jumping in this orgy or what? Your mother is getting antsy. Smoking indoors. I didn't do it, but my GF at the time had a veritable panic attack when we had my mother over for dinner. It was the first and only time my mother came to visit. I was born mid-70s, so I remember smoking in malls, planes, hospitals, etc. Both my parents were non-smokers, which made them unique enough, but still every time someone came over, they'd pull out these giant ashtrays for their guests. Such a different time. Would you be shocked to hear? I went to junior school in the 1970s. I can vividly remember at least 2 teachers who smoked in class. Ashtrays on their desks. No ucks given by anybody. I graduated HS in the 90s. Our school had a smoke pit, which was a large area between 2 buildings where it was 100% okay for students to smoke between classes. It didn't matter that we couldn't legally buy cigarettes. If we had them, we were allowed to smoke them. My dad jizzed on my siblings and I a lot. He was born in Iran, so he had a little bit of a language gap even as an adult. And what he would do to mess with my siblings and I is he would use his finger and thumb to punch the tiniest amount of skin on our wrists, and he would call it jizz, because I think that's what he thought the sound of that was if you could get close enough to hear it. So the scene occurred plenty of times where my brother, sister, and I would be running away from him in the house, pleading not to get jizzed on. Years later, someone explained to me that the noise Iranians think bees make is jizz, so therefore, my dad was buzzing us, not jizzing. Thankfully. Your story is fantastic. That first line I audibly gasped. Language mix-ups definitely can be awkward. When I lived in Japan I started from zero with language ability. Early on I learned that shinkai plus n is used colloquially as a verb for microwaving. Chin representing the sound of a microwave chime. One evening when hosting some Japanese people I had met, I went over to microwave something and in a sing-song voice said chin chin. They turned to me mortified. I stood there confused, until one brave soul informed me I had just said a slang word for N. And that's the story of how I learned a new slang word. Can confirm. English teacher in Japan. Japanese elementary school boys love this joke. They ring a bell over and over and say chin chin. Chin chin. I just got it. It's basically the equivalent of ding dong, right? In English that can be both a bell sound and a slang for peen. Use of Hindu-dotted German words in casual conversation, which as a child I assumed were English until I got confused stares from friends. My family has been in the US since 1902. Check for me. I didn't know the English word for belly button for years. What's the Czech word? The Czech word is pupik. Seems far more common for parents to be very overtly cautious controlling of their kids' activities. Not that my parents let us have free rein, but they trusted my brothers and I to walk around the neighborhood, usually in big groups. Bedtimes weren't really enforced after like age 10, and never on weekends. Ironically later I was pretty often the safe friend to the more cautious parents, because I turned out real boring. I was probably a bit of a special case because I've always had a touch of anxiety, but I think having my parents' trust kind of removed the rebellion of it. Edit. Well, apparently it's not as uncommon as I thought. Hello other boring free-range kids. Also I've been told the original expression is free reign, but I think both versions work so reign stays. Same. I had no curfew once I was 12 or something and I turn out boring as well. My friends' parents loved me because I was such a good kid. Same here as well. I remember getting my license and asking my parents if I even had a curfew. Before that if I was with another kid in the neighborhood. It was be home before dark, and if I was out somewhere, they were usually the chauffeur parents. They decided I didn't have a curfew and to just text them and let them know my plans and when I'd be home so they would know to leave the service door from the garage to the house unlocked, and if they were asleep when I got home to text mom and let her know I was home so if she woke up in the middle of the night she'd know without checking my room. The latest I ever stayed out was midnight or 1 and my friends who I'd hang out with one had a curfew of 10 so we'd do whatever until 10 and then from 10 midnight we'd just chill in her basement and then I'd drive everyone else home and go home. I'm 23 now and still live at home. COVID has messed up my moving out plans and it's pretty much the same now. Just let them know so mom leaves the service door unlocked and shoot mom a text if she's asleep when I get home so she knows I made it. I was definitely the boring friend all the parents trusted. I got my license first so I usually drove and everyone always got home safely and on time. I'm still the boring friend that doesn't stay out super late and makes sure everyone is home safe. Haha, I'm exactly the same. I had no curfew once I started secondary school age 11 and after 2 or 3 nights of staying out past 9 I soon realized it's boring and I ended up just going home at a normal time. I was also allowed to drink from the age of 14-15 and go clubbing and to pubs when I was 16. By the time I hit 18 I was pretty bored of it and never one for binge drinking or getting blackout drunk. The novelty had gone. Everyone in the family, extended family included, likes each other and gets along. One boyfriend commented that my family was weird because everyone got along. No massive fights, screaming and yelling each holiday, bringing up decade-old grudges once or twice a year. Like he has never met his uncle because his dad and uncle hate each other too much. TBH, this is weirder to me than the guy whose dad jizzes on him. r/no context. This is context if anyone needs it. My mom and I have had this inside joke where we go don't talk to me or don't even look at me in response to stupid shit. I don't remember how or when it started, but I've been doing it since I was a wee kid. I didn't realize how odd it was until I said fine, don't talk to me then in response to my mom telling me I couldn't get a video game I asked for and a woman in the aisle with us got offended. She pulled my mom aside and told her I don't need to be talking to her like that and she needs to teach me how to respect her male. My mom explained that it's a joke that we do but she doesn't think the woman believed her. My husband and I joke like this too. My friends get really uncomfortable when I roll my eyes and say I don't even like you. I want a divorce and he says good. You smell like wet garbage and flea market. LOL, I love this. My girlfriend will say she is going out for a pack of smokes and whole milk. She is a vegan who has asthma. This is her joking equivalent of I am leaving you. That's pretty cute. Flush the toilet after peeing. We tried to save water, so we basically peed until someone took a dump. Then one day I went to a family friend's house and freaked everyone out because I didn't flush. Edit 1. Forgot to mention that we were a family of 5 with one working toilet, and my dad shits like 3 times a day. Edit 2. Our bathroom was on the 2nd floor and it had a window. This thing can work until your bathroom gets filled with pee smell. Not recommended. Edit. Thanks, guys. Now my top voted comment is about the stain of pee. Thank you. Flush the damn toilet. I'll take a higher water bill over the bathroom constantly smelling like piss. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Sleep after the meal during holiday get-togethers. Just the men. The women exchanged gifts. We would all go into the living room and watch football and kinda doze. No big deal. Did this once at my girlfriend's family Christmas and evidently I embarrassed her or maybe offended someone. Either way, I was the only one asleep while everyone else was energetic and conversing lively with family. I was woken up by girlfriend with an angry tone asking why I was asleep during the party. I was comfortable, relaxed, and we just had a lot of food. Made sense to me. Damn, that definitely seems like something that would be perfectly normal in some families and rude in others. It was so natural to me that I was confused for a bit why she was upset. Like, this is what you do, eat and then nap. We always did this on Thanksgiving. We would finish eating and then about 10 minutes later everyone would be asleep. It was always so satisfying to wake up on a full stomach. Saying damn it after sneezing. That was an interesting day in 1st grade. We say shut up. Can be awkward with new people. Tends to get laughs though. We say something similar after a third sneeze. Bless you. Bless you. Are you done already? Combination here lol. Bless you. Bless you. Shut the yuck up. My mom is a yawn yeller. When she yawns, you can hear it from anywhere in the house. One time my sister had a friend over, and we were in the basement. My mom yawned upstairs, and my sister's friend asked, was that a quality? My mom yells when she sneezes. In order for her to stop sneezing, she has to basically sneeze really loud, kinda like achoo. One time my brother had a friend over and he thought something was going on outside. It was my mom sneezing in her room. My dad sneezes super loud as well. I once lost him in a large bookstore, heard a loud achoo, and then I found him again. That my mother would scream and yell every single night in her sleep. I legit thought it was a normal thing. My mom has nightmares. Doesn't yours? Edit. Given the comments here, maybe a larger conversation needs to be had about why people have nightmares. Holy shit. I dated a girl that had those, and it not only creeped me out, but she would start clawing and punching. I've kicked a partner and left bruises on his shins. I felt so bad when I saw them. My mom has screamed at night during nightmares for the past 55 years. When she's not screaming, she's cursing people in her dreams. The most vile, horrible, nasty, cursing. Sailors, carpenters, and longshoremen everywhere would cringe in horror at what comes out of her mouth in the middle of the night. Best comment of the day. This most likely isn't weird, but my dad, whenever he's in the car or a conversation, he sings from songs and musicals from the 70s or the 80s that he knows, every single time. Edit. I'm not trying to say that anyone's preference is worse or better than another. I actually like most of the songs that my dad likes. I just think it's the repetition of his singing that makes me annoyed. For people wondering, he listens to mainly Beatles, Rolling Stones, and Jefferson Airplane.